Hi everyone, welcome to our Silicon Valley Band talk show. Here today, I'm very honored to invite two great PMs in our tech space to talk about what's latest about AI into the PM world. We have our old friend Yolanda here. She's energetic PM here. I know Yolanda has a new journey going as a next step, but I will keep it a secret. Hopefully, you will disclose that next time when you come to our show.
Sure. Happy to do that.
And we have Matt. Welcome, Matt. Matt is
Great.
PM executive in the Bay Area, and he had a lot of interesting experience with AI. Welcome you, Matt.
Yeah, great to be here, Zoil. Yeah, looking forward to the chat.
Awesome. All right. I know we actually in our previous season we talked about AI and PM. Like, is AI going to replace PM? Like, how do you work with AI? I think things changed a lot since we discussed last time in our show. I heard this latest change. A lot of company when they start to interview PMs, they start to ask you to vibe coding. So this is the new stuff. Remember when I was trying to, when we talk privately before, I said I can pretend I'm a PM and go into a PM interview and accomplish that. I'm pretty confident about that. Now I'm not quite sure because I haven't tried vibe coding, so I don't know how that works. And of course, we heard a lot of story surfing around the social media everywhere. A lot of PM actually trying to start to use AI as a tool to build some prototype with them, to try new ideas, to test the water, right? And somehow we feel right now PM can start to build something without engineers' help. That's a big change in the world. So, what's your experience with AI so far? I mean, either you're in your professional job or in your daily life. How does AI change your work so far?
Well, it's like such a broad topic, right? So I tell you a little bit about my journey. So I just had a mat leave, like second kid. So last time I record this session with Zoil, I think I was like 9 months pregnant, but
Thank you for doing that. So
you guys feel like I'm like shrinked a little bit rather than just still like really puffy but anyways, so during my mat leave, I do feel very obsoleted, frankly speaking, right? Like you are in this daily poop job, but then you know that you need to learn AI. But then I am I wouldn't say I'm like needing to buy the new iPhone type, needing to immediately touch with the new tech, but I know I'm obsoleted. So back to work feels good because it forced me to actually start thinking about it. So my journey started with a company I casually applied because I was doing agentic stuff. So their interview, like what you mentioned, asked me to do vibe code. And I'm freaking out, right? Like I'm like literally freaking out.
have you tried vibe coding
No,
before the interview?
no, before. No,
Right.
I have not. I heard this buzzwords here and there probably only twice in my podcast. Only twice. Okay. So I'm like, okay, sending and paying an email to Louis Lane. I think that all the PMs in Bay Area knows about Louis Lane. I'm like, okay, is there any guidance you can share with me, right? Like, is there any framework you can share with me? Because I tried a framework and to interview with Meta. It was working perfectly. I got offer, right? So I trust him so much. So he gave me some guidance and I start trying. But then after this is my journey, start vibe coding. Later on, I don't take vibe coding as a tool to interview. It's just like my drug addict. I don't think that I'm like so addicted to something, but as a PM, you're like so keen on seeing things being built. You're like, oh my God. At night when I'm like Netflix and chill after kids, right? I just want to vibe code and see what will turn into be. So I'm like, this is my sorry, like it shouldn't say it. This is my drug. Yes.
Yeah.
How about you, Matt?
That's like, what's your
Yeah.
experience, Matt?
Yeah. So you mentioned, Yolanda, that you weren't necessarily an early adopter for all things tech. On my side, on my journey, so through the years, I've always been like very, very immersed and passionate about what's the latest and greatest. So I've been playing around a little bit with vibe coding and really just sort of context creation and prompting for the better part of a couple years. But it was really interesting. About a year ago, I came across some vibe coding products and tools and just like went off to the races. And actually, I had a lot of like trials and failures. To your point, where you reached out to Lewis Lynn and trying to get some insight. I was like the Thomas Edison approach here, like trial and error, just like we'll see how it works. And I found a formula that works for me. But part of that was like finding the right tool. The interesting thing, product managers, we all come from different backgrounds. So if you come from more of a design driven or business driven approach, you might be better suited to a particular vibe coding product versus if you're an engineer by trade and you transition maybe recently into a product role, you might be better suited to different types of vibe coding products. And yeah, I mean, happy to talk about those as well, but I love it. I mean, I agree with the joke that Yolanda threw out around it's a drug. It feels very addictive to the point where you could just spend all night prompting and trying to build a product. And Zoil, to your point about needing an engineer, I do think of these sort of vibe coding tools and AI tools as a very junior, maybe a senior level engineer that can kind of help you build out a proof of concept that you could share with your team, or a prototype that you could play around with to get some feedback from the market if you're building a startup or something.
Yeah, and I actually heard a lot of people that I know, a lot, not just one or two, like they were PM before, start to use AI tools to build something, just as part-time small project, and later on they are more addicted to it. They're trying to make it work, make it like a real product. Then later on they just quit the job and start own business for that. Like several people is doing that, which is definitely, you see, this is not going to happen even 2 years ago or 3 years ago, right? But
No.
it's happening
Yeah.
right now. So
Yeah, no, it's totally interesting. I mean, the space that you're in, I think of e-commerce and I think of what someone say like a Shopify is doing, where they have agentic tools that they offer to their business user to create an e-commerce site just with an AI prompt. You can just like prompt your way to a beautiful e-commerce site, and then, oh, by the way, have it integrate directly with your whole supply chain. It's really crazy. And I can see why people are like, wanting to turn it into a side gig and then their main gig for sure. That's the dream, right?
So what are you guys building? Like, you guys
Ooh.
spend a lot of time addictive to what? I'm very curious to know what.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll start. I was thinking if I can share that, but then I think it's public available information, right? Like currently I'm working for Walmart Marketplace. So the first use case I did, other than that interview, by the way, was that first trial with framework that I came up with together with Louis Lane's framework. It actually got me the offer. But then with my own company, that's the first time I actually prototype and presented in front of my engineer, and they freaked out. Like you said, they think that I don't need an engineer. That's not the case, right? Like I actually showed them the code. I'm like, see how messy the code is? You think I don't need you? That's not possible. But that's a great way for them to understand where I want, because the traditional way of writing product requirement doc is not going to be enough, right? Like you can't say given this, then that, or something. These are not something you can say, hey, this is the acceptance criteria. I'll accept your stories, right? It's no longer the way. So if I don't want to do it this way, how am I going to give this way to my engineer and they know what to build, right? So I prototype. So I show it to them and I have a very detailed data mapping in the backend to show them how those workflow and data will work. So that will give, that actually give my engineer a lot of confidence, a lot of details on understanding what I want to get. Even I don't have a concrete acceptance criteria. So other things I built is like, I want to use my personal wallet to do some shopping. So I start with PayPal. So I built something as like, hey, price match for me, stuff like that. Tried it out. And as a mom of two, I'm also very busy on like making schedule every Wednesday. So I literally every Wednesday I have like, hey, HelloFresh, book it at 8 o'clock, 8:30. Look at weekend events. These are on my calendars every week. So I want the AI to actually remove those tedious duties for me so I can focus more, my time on big chunk of the staff tasks to get things done. So these are what I was trying to do. What about you, Matt?
Interesting. Yeah, on that workflow thing, I mean, I know that there's an AI tool, N8N, that kind of orchestrates a workflow. I haven't tried it for this particular use case, but I wonder if that might, save you or accelerate some of your time.
I'll think with you offline.
It's super interesting. Yeah. So on my side, so I mean, I was working basically at a Bay Area startup, right? So when AI came full into the scene, we knew that we needed to introduce AI-oriented features. And I think that there was this period of time where people would naturally just create sort of a pro tier or a pro ultra that had, AI insights. And this was, kind of a flash in the pan occurrence. What we all realized is that AI insights were a utility. It was a benefit that you needed to add. So I got my toes sort of in the water on using AI from startup life. But startup life is kind of interesting. You don't necessarily have a dedicated designer or a researcher. And your engineers, to Yolanda's point, are focused on other things. So you have to figure out as a product manager, how can I accelerate myself, my own understanding, and my engineering team's roadmap? So I went hunting and I found, for me, I was using v0.dev, so Vercel, and then also Lovable, and I'll show some examples later. But I started first hacking around on our existing product. I had some like bold assumptions of what the future could be, but I definitely didn't want to waste time or energy of my engineering team. So I crafted those out, thinking about, how can I extend my own, business here? But, I also worked on these side projects, these things that I just firmly believe in the world are problems that need solving. Something like Gmail. Everybody, there's different sort of personality types that people have. You can look at it based off of the number of emails that they have in their inbox, right? It's like, I have, I think, 98,000 unread emails or something.
You do.
Largely because I've just subscribed, right? Yeah, I just like subscribe to all these things. And I assume I'll get around to them. Well, I wanted to hack a tool that actually read those unread emails, organized them, and was sort of like a superhuman, which is a business email AI product that was recently bought by Grammarly, but for personal life, right? So let's ingest all that data for later. Those McKinsey newsletters that you think are really cool articles, or some savers or whatever, and process it all and build sort of a human co-pilot really for yourself. Was one of the things that I was hacking away. And yeah, just like these time sinks in your personal life, those things that you're always frustrated about, now we have AI tools to kind of help us build a proof of concept and see if it can work for ourselves. It's really cool. I love it.
So are you actually trying to um,
Mm.
make those things as an actual product, or like are you
Yeah.
just trying to, hey, let's just, you
Huh.
know, help myself because I don't satisfied with any product in the market, so I just
I'm
want to.
doing helping myself.
Yeah.
That's most my wish. Have too
So
much.
I think if you're not marketing and promoting whatever you're making, yes, you're building it for yourself for sure. And but if you add like an off wall and a user, backend, a user driven backend for people to sign up and log in, then it's there for the future. That productivity hack one, where we both can maybe save time from reading through the 1,000 emails that we don't really need. That one I built. I'll share it with you if we've got time.
Yeah, of
Pretty
course,
fun.
we definitely want to look at
Yeah.
what exactly those things like you spend a lot of hours in the late night sacrifice
Prompting.
your own sleeps, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I can
Yeah, we
share
could
first
talk
because
about
my
that too in the economy. How
yeah.
many hours of sleep have been lost from AI tools, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Yolanda. You were,
No,
yeah.
I'm just trying to see if like since you seem to have built like end-to-end working product, mine's more of like a I wouldn't say superficial, but prototyping type of things. Maybe why don't I
Mm,
start showing my ideas because it will be really quick, and I will tell you
okay.
my journey on like how my prompt goes to get to what status, and then we will let you show your end product. I'm very interested in those products you mentioned. Maybe I'll be the first batch of the subscribers.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We will do, yeah.
Cool. Let me start sharing my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Disclaimer here. I am really in love with Lovable because it has a special design touch with me. Like when I mentioned, you just build beautiful products. So I want to demo like 3 different products with 3 different approach that I did. So this is the very first one I tried with Lovable with my current work. So this took me $25 of credit on building it because I have been using small prompts on fixing small things here and there. I want to do something. It was like starting with one small paragraph. I want to reproduce this seller payment center. This is like seller.walmart.com. It's not no like secret, right? But then to get there, it used so many like I think it took me 2 hours to get there to make it like the math looking good, make everything like clickable and like the logic makes sense, right? And then later on, I connected with Superbase, which is a database, and then put some like sandbox data there, basically. But I use this to demo to my engineer on what I want to do, right? This doesn't exist today. So this is helping me with my work. So is my payment. So it's mostly I'm trying to build more agentic kind of like shop assistant or seller tools there. But then this took me very long to build to get to this entire reports and dashboard. Okay. Second one I tried is for my personal use. I'm like, okay, can I use some like wallet to, as a placeholder to tell me and centralize all those cash rebate and do those price match for me and blah, blah, blah. So whatever you see here is from one prompt. That one prompt was very, very long. That is the prompt that I summarized from what Louise Lin shared and what my experience with product design with Meta actually. So I take this as do a product design question, like writing it down. But then in the end, adding your stakeholder consideration, adding your design flavor to it, and then gets me this. Okay. So
Is that something like your answer to an interview question? Let's say, how do you design a product like this? And
kind
you
of like that.
spend 10 minutes to discuss with the interviewer, you come up with the entire strategy and solution and action plan, and then
Yes.
you put everything
Yes.
into this AI tool, and they help you build this view according
Yes.
to whatever you
That,
include. Okay.
Yes, that's how I did it because that's the way that
Mhm.
works the best for me because I'm a deep thinker and I can get a lot of nuances with my background, right? Like I was on the strategy side, I was on the data side. So I have a lot of nuances that I can shine when I'm doing one big prompt. But I also hear feedback like a lot of people don't do big prompt, right? They do small prompt. But I tried it with my small prompts, right? It take me so long.
Mhm.
It's not gonna get me anywhere with this like interview format, right? So the key is that when you're doing this long prompt, you kind of need to think fast because it's an awkward moment, right? Like you're doing the typing,
Mhm.
but then you need to also conduct a human-like conversation with your interviewer. So that's the second one. Third one is totally like after, I don't have the stress from
Uh,
work. I don't have the stress from,
one second. So
Mhm.
are you saying during the interview, you are thinking and you are typing
Yeah.
at the same time, what you
yes,
type will eventually go to the AI to
yes.
generate a view of it?
Yes, because you're typing, I'm sharing screen, right? Like because I know it's gonna be a long prompt and I do want the interviewee to see what I was doing. So
Mm-hmm.
while I was doing that, I have to talk through like my logic on what was I thinking? What do I think is the most important? How I prioritize. You have to make those decisions while you're typing or you're talking to the interviewee so that he can follow. Sometimes he will have
Def-
response and he will ask questions, right? Then while you're typing, you also need to address those questions.
So
And
basically, you're writing a long form note to an AI agent. It seems like it's just sort of the traditional outline of a product case, and then
Yeah,
you lay
yeah.
out everything, and then just hit enter and hope for the best. Or
So I no 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 no. I
that's awesome. Yeah.
That's a good question. I tweak a little bit on the details I put in like every each those like steps for like
Mm,
the circle,
right.
right? Like that's Louis Link's product design kind of framework. So a lot of people
Yeah.
say that, hey, with AI, you can do all persona, you can solve all pain points, and you can, do all
Yeah.
solutions. I didn't go that way because where you shine your mind with your interviewee is not about what AI can build, is your thinking strengths, like how well you
Yeah.
can think through things, right? So you definitely want to
Mhm.
shine when you do prioritization. So I think the strong suggestion, even you have AI tool that can do everything, is still be very clear on which persona you want to go, which problem you want to solve, and
Right.
why. And then the
Mm,
solution part, I still pick one, but like I think at that time you can probably tell the AI to do everything. But what I'm worried is that because I tried with different small prompt,
mm,
right? If you ask AI to do everything, it will give you everything, but in a crappy way on every each piece of it. It's
mm,
harder for you to focus your conversation with one solution. So I'd rather create one solution. However, a lot of time in those meta style product design question, right? They don't ask for a wireframe. For me, it feels like a meta style combined with like some company ask you to design user journey in wireframe, right? Push it to a wireframe and it's not even wireframe. It's not black and white anymore. It's colorful. It has
mm.
buttons, right? It have design flavor to it. So after that, after wireframe user journey, you want to give them design flavors. That's why it will
I
give
see.
sort of like, pretty looking thing, right? Like you want it to be pretty in front of interviewee, right? Like, a video or a picture
Mm,
is more than like 1,000 words, right? Like if it's a crappy picture, it also
yeah.
has 1,000 words behind it. So
yeah, but how do you control that? Because it's possible when you write a
Mm,
very long prompt and
because I
you
tried it
type
at
it, it doesn't work. It's like
I tried
things,
it at home. I know which design, for example, like I did this is what my trial at home, right?
Yeah.
So
mm,
so the design wasn't looking good. So I go different links. I think I even give like, oh, try to do, Airbnb style onboarding, stuff like that. You give them the best design flow you like, and it will come up with
oh,
ideas or the
yeah.
UI
I
that
see.
makes sense to you, right? You don't need
I
it to
see.
be perfect, but you can't,
That's something.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be crappy.
Similar on my side. Yeah. I mean, using this example, what we're looking at here, I think the different thing in prompting a product when you're vibe coding is you actually do need to give it some direction. Otherwise, it'll sort of just look generic.
Yeah.
So one of the tools that I've used is called Mobbin, Mobbin. And this basically has a library of a lot of different products. So you can actually look at it and decide like, oh, I kind of want it to look like this style of thing. And you inject that into your first prompt. When you're doing that gigantic prompt, you would say, hey, I want it to look like this. And you actually need to share the reference. This is sort of that context piece that we talked about before, Zoil, is it seems like, an AI agent is like really smart, but in fact, it's not. And you just need to like give it as much context as you have experienced over your professional career. Interesting.
Kind of like a library, huh? UI.
So I think definitely it needs some practice. Like before you went into that, went to that interview, you'd better try this AI tool you are going to use a little bit more. Just have some right expectation how it will react to your prompt.
Yeah.
Then you can prepare it. So you don't need to adjust it on the run, like when you are still doing the interview at the same time, right?
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Like one thing I firmly believe all the time is instead of knowing the AI, what they will build, knowing yourself better. Know what type of product manager you are, the way you talk, and what you want. Know yourself very well. When I prompt, I tailor towards, like, for example, when I was thinking about Louis Lin circles, right? I can never come up with like really strong user segmentation. Then I know myself, my thinking process so well. Every time I enforce a question to me, like why on earth someone need this product, for example, and it will form my brain to think through segmentations very easily. That will be easy for me to come up with solutions. You need to know your own brain better, and then that will give you a good prompt, and that the AI can later on will be like, what AI tool will fit your style, right? Like you can try it out. So that's. I really want to share my mom tool. I call it my mom tool very quickly.
This is the one.
Yes. So I have built it differently in different, and just like random number. This is not my actual like truth, but just like. So it just like populates you every single weekend. Like what are the events you can do? Give you ideas, give you budget. So I also tried it with this. This is Google AI Studio. So unfortunately, if you guys can see, can you see my screen? Let me share the other one.
Is this data like real data?
Yeah, these are real data. This is like actual, so Google one, they can integrate with your calendar very well, right? Google Calendar and your Gmail, and it has your Google Map information. So these are actual real data. If you click on it, you can view the source and stuff. This is chopped, but yeah, just quick fast forward. It just prove to you these are real clickable links. And when you go to details, you can drag and you can integrate, interact with your spouse, or I have like owner and executor, stuff like that.
So I imagine, to build it into something like a full-on product, really what you need is that marketing page that we saw initially, needs to maybe have some pricing and off model so people can log in, sign up, reset passwords. And it's really cool how vibe coding products these days are getting smarter and smarter, and you can just basically inject those ideas and it'll add it, and then you're off to the races, Yolanda, with this family product that
this weekend
everyone needs.
Pumpkin patch, right? Like, and this and that. Give me ideas, even if it didn't buy the ticket for me, but I will get there with agentic commerce, right? Agent do things for you. Off to you, Matt.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen here. So oddly enough, I am also a huge fan of Lovable, and actually let me move these things
everybody
out of
loves
the way.
Lovable.
So I was using
Vercel. I believe
that's
definitely one of the most popular choices over there.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely using Vercel to start off with, and I mentioned product managers kind of come from different places, right? So I was an engineer initially, and I think Vercel, has a little bit of extra configuration and configurability and sort of an engineering mind orientation. But Lovable builds the most, I think, most visually pretty products. So yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of little products. I mean, you talked about Meta before and chatting with Louis Lynn. I know, and I get that newsletter too. It's really great.
I really love
and I saw one. Yeah, it's cool. If you're a product manager anywhere, you don't need to be in the Bay, but sign up for that newsletter. It's probably very valuable. You can practice your preparation for an interview by doing exactly what you just said, is like setting the context, talking about a problem statement, giving some pain points, maybe focusing on which particular pain point and what features you want to build. And I took that newsletter. There was a comment about a volunteering question that came up quite a bit, and threw that into Lovable to see what it would do. Identified sort of the V1 features that I wanted, design system, and yeah, it does its magic and its thinking. It might take a long time, but you end up with like kind of a reasonable UX. I mean,
wow,
this
this
is
is really
feeling like a volunteering product that could live with inside. I mean, here I just clicked here, it doesn't do anything, right? So there's certain elements that don't really work, right?
Yeah, the difference between Lovable and Google AI is like Google AI will make everything clickable.
Real, right?
Interesting.
That's real.
Yeah, but then
Real event. Is this real event here, or is just a picture and?
These are just pictures and text.
Yeah.
I did not go for this particular one. I didn't go as far as saying, "Hey, create a backend for me and store everything and make it dynamic and with a login." Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think Gemini, or sort of the Google version of the vibe coding agent is all clickable on day one, prompt one. But yeah, Lovable, they kind of embellish in case you want to go down a direction. And I think that's just maybe an intentional choice of the product team there.
Because
They
Google
want you to
has
keep
everything.
prompting. They want you to
Google
keep
has all the
prompting.
information.
Yeah, but then Google, you can use backend. Lovable, there is backend called Superbase. So they charge for it. I think that's where Matt was talking about being intentional. They want you to use the backend, but they charge you for it.
Oh.
So that's like very delicately designed, based on their product needs and business goal.
But Yolanda, you're actually spending money on it, right? You just mentioned you spend $25 to.
Yeah, because every time after I drain it, they ask me to like, I can try 5 times, 5 credit every day. I don't have patience for those things. I'm like, okay. But I got an offer, so ROI is pretty high.
Yeah.
And my boss also want to reimburse me, but then, I'm like holding
$25 for an offer. That's good.
Yeah, I'm like holding a high ethical bar. I'm like, I don't just use that credit only for my, work. So I don't feel comfortable reimbursed it, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Lovable, when you build out, so I'll go over this one. So this is a product that I'm actually trying to productionize at the moment, called Finwise. And actually, I went so far as to buy a domain for a couple bucks. So, I mean, hey, you're spending $25 on Lovable. What's an extra $3 to get a .com, right? So maybe that's the whole racket of AI product tools that's going on. Is just like
people are
getting
thinking
people
about
to
monetizing
spend more.
AI. There you go.
Which is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Financial AI, it works for you to spend at least $3 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. At least $3. Yeah. So what we're looking at here is inside Lovable. So the prompts are on the left here. And then the front end user experience that it generates is on the right. And then once you're done with a particular prompt, looks like I've got 186 visitors in the last 7 days. Maybe that's all me. I don't know. You can do two things. So once you get that $3 domain, you can actually have it replicate to the .com. So immediately when you hit publish, and here it's all updated. It will not only push to your Lovable instance, the versions that Yolanda was sharing, but also your actual live domain, right? So,
So it's a .com
and this is all
URL.
mock. Yeah, this is a .com URL. It'll push to a .com. It's really kind of interesting. So this is all with like mock data, but I'll share this as a passion project of mine because I've been a product manager forever, but finance is one of the domains where I was a product manager at Capital One, where I've worked in the past. And this is like one of those human problems in the world that just needs solving. I have a strong belief that investment companies, which are wonderful, only focus on helping you grow your net worth number. Budgeting apps, which is another thing, they only focus on helping you reduce your expenses. There's no product that I've seen that really combines these two in a way that helps you as an end user understand what your escape number is, escape from sort of the corporate drudgery or whatever you might want to do. So I'm building
Fire
out.
Tour then. This is a Fire Tour. So Fire is the name that you should just leave Fire.
Okay.
Everybody is
Fire.
going to pay money for it. It's a Fire
Yeah,
Tour.
so it's an acronym. Yeah, so FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. There's a bunch of different variants of this for sure. Haven't built out the product to support all those variants, but a simple sort of number. So this is the .com. Lovable generated this whole thing for me, right? So even this like scrolling, changing, how the chat interface might look, sort of my AI agent, which I'll show. That's a ChatGPT API integration. So as a product manager, even if you're not technical, in training, you're probably technical enough to be able to go to like the developer page of say a Plaid or a Stripe or ChatGPT and get an API key. And then you just throw it in to a backend in Supabase, and we'll talk about that as well. Lovable works really, really well with Supabase, which is a really quick backend service. And then it just shows like you can build out like a really impressive marketing page, a .com. And
is it working? Can I use it to get my Fire?
I'm still prompting my way. In a few days, I really think the answer is yes, but it certainly has a login. This is a shared login.
Yolanda just create a perfect marketing page for you, Matt.
Yeah.
Like in that page, you want to mention, hey, use this tool and you will be fired pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you could use a quick. You could create an account. There's even some thinking like a product manager as well. How can you monetize this? How can you grow a user base? So I've introduced a referral concept and a referral feature where, I might offer a discount to users that sign up to refer and grow the user base. So you still have to think like a product person when you're building stuff out. But yeah, it goes through a simple account creation and, apologies here. Shoot me an email. Everyone knows my email. If you want to learn more. This is all still mock data, but I'm just playing around with different features that I'm iterating on right now.
If I want to use my real data, like you have like the...
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I introduced the paywall feature. It's a good question. I introduced the paywall feature. So you can basically add in your financial accounts. So I mentioned Plaid. This is a great tool if you're on a startup journey. You can quickly integrate with, and yes, it will connect to a production instance of Plaid. And apologies for the slowness. That's actually on the Plaid side, not on the FinWise side. But it'll render a widget that will allow you to connect into your bank account. And yeah, it'll pull the data stored in Supabase, what we talked about.
Can you show us the real account so that we know your net worth?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah.
He's
I
on
don't know
fire
what. Yeah.
already.
So
So
Plaid, yeah. Yeah. I
don't
already
try to
hit fire.
even
No, no, definitely
hook
not.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my.
So I don't know why this is going so slow here, but yeah. So here's a traditional
Okay.
Plaid widget. You would just, go through that Plaid experience that you've known to love,
And this
and
is
connect your
also
account.
lovable, right? You just need to talk,
All lovable, vibe
connect
coded.
to
I actually,
connect to
yeah,
plate. That's it, right?
yep. I basically said, yeah, I need to make a Plaid connection, and I want it to work with this connect account button, or on the dashboard. I want it to work, in a different spot when, I hit connect accounts. These are the Plaid fake accounts. Please proceed. And then it'll run through, and eventually it'll have an input prompt that says, hey, put your API key in.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go do it yourself, and that's the manual part. But then it'll quickly ramp up and build a quick product for you to help you visualize your demo and your prototype. So yeah, I'm still working through some of the kinks here on some of these pages.
Well, I like this projection.
But yeah, oh yeah, the projection, yeah, pretty cool. Basically, will give you a percentage, because again, that thesis is, I think everyone wants to have a higher net worth, but they don't know what their number is. So I'm optimizing in this demo product or this prototype concept on the number that you're trying to achieve, and you can explore those thoughts really quickly and easily with a vibe coding agent for sure.
Actually,
The other
it's
one,
super super interesting concept, because when I was talking with any financial advisors, there's always a big issue over there. Like, should I trust this person? Like, or
right,
in the reverse way,
yeah,
did he cares for me? Like, am I just a normal customer or business to him, or like that guy
yeah,
actually cares me, want to help me to grow financially, right? So it's always
yeah,
there. But if you have an AI tool, it's just all yourself. Like, you do whatever you want.
yeah.
You feel very comfortable. You have,
Chat with it
right?
24/7, 365. Yeah, totally. I mean, don't even get me started. We could go on a whole rabbit hole tangent on financial advisors and fee only versus assets under management and what the right approach is. But
Yeah.
you can see here, Lovable did me wrong, broke my UI. I'm gonna have to fix that at a different point. But still working through some of those kinks. But yeah, I totally.
Then I have
And
a
this is
question.
as a product manager, we don't we need to talk about the product. I'll talk about it forever, but you just think like a product manager. I mean, this allows you a space where you can think about monetization strategy, growth strategy, a user adoption path. You might be in an enterprise context working with some of your marketing stakeholders or design partners, engineering partners on what's in the realm of feasible. But I think it just accelerates your roadmap in a corporate context. It's worth the $25, like what Yolanda said.
And you're not doing that just for prototype, right? You're gonna actually making a working product. Like,
that is the goal with this one for sure. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're just doing it to augment your AI learning and understanding. This idea, yeah, small plug. Look for this soon. Maybe I'll add a waitlist feature on the .com here while it's being built out a little bit more, although the login does work.
that's really
Yeah, but
impressive. It's like a definitely another level to like my prototype, right? Like, it's like a working product.
yeah,
That will
you
scare the
know,
developer, I think.
yeah, yeah. The goal with this, because this isn't for sort of the corporate context of like how could we, add this new feature, which is what you were sharing, to get maybe your stakeholders engaged and on board.
Yeah.
It's to get like maybe a VC on board, or even get an engineer excited about this to join me on this journey. Because I do think that vibe coding is amazing, but they're sort of a senior engineer at best. They aren't thinking like a CTO might. And you
Gotcha.
can actually throw those types of prompts into your prompting window too. Like, think think like a CTO for this particular prompt, and maybe it'll do some higher level thinking. You'll actually see it thinking a little bit harder. It's quite funny versus just like giving it a task.
That's actually a very interesting question here. When do you think you start to need an engineer on this? When you like, obviously there's already a working website over there where I believe people can register to start to use it.
Yeah.
And you may start to, grow your business a little bit with like 10 customers, 100 customers. So seems you can just start everything without engineer, right? When do you think you need an engineer? Actually,
it's fascinating. Yeah, so Zoil, that's actually like kind of the most interesting thing, because the conversation, I think, when all these AI tools came on the scene was maybe you don't need, product, or you don't need design anymore. But these are vibe coding agents. So I think the conversation is starting to shift of like, when do you need engineering? Like, can you be a solo entrepreneur? Build out an entirely new product yourself? I think give the vibe coding agents maybe a couple more years. Claude Code might be the closest to being able to help you sort of accelerate your path. But yeah, we're probably a couple years away from something like that. But I think innovation that product design business leaders bring in, that's not going away. It's only getting augmented with AI products.
Yeah. That actually,
but that's coming from the frame of a product manager. So
yeah, that actually makes me start to think about like in the next era of AI, there's only one thing matters, that is curiosity. Like if you are curious enough to think about things and to create new things and to test it out, there's no technically there's no big technology barrier or any barrier, to be honest, right? It's all about how curious are you? How do you want to spend your time dedicated on something and to build it out? Because everything seems already available here with AI. If you don't know a domain, you can go and learn it. If you don't know how to do design, here's the tool. If you don't know how to write code, AI can help you. AI can help everything. It's just
I think it's not only job function for engineer, right? Let's not scare engineers away from this.
PM start to scare engineer now.
I was an engineer. I love engineers. You're right. Yes, I don't want to scare them.
Product managers not needed, right? Like engineer has an idea because of a new like tech solution they come up with. So it's like, I have an application idea, I can just build it, right? Like everybody can do. So the line between different job functions are getting very, very blurry. Or like the job function itself, right? As a product, as an engineer, your liability and your duties becomes very different with AI. That's how I see it. Eventually, people realize we still need those people to do these type of work, but it might not be called this name, might not be called engineer, might not be called product managers. But I don't believe human intervention is now needed when something great need to be built or created. Like what you said, Zoil, like with curiosity, right? Like that's the thing human can do ahead of AI. And then you're ahead of AI, they will always need to learn from you. It's not like you are, being replaced. Everybody with curiosity, I don't believe they're replaceable.
Yeah, I totally.
So I think like we are moving from, skill-based, like in the past a few centuries, right? Skill is important. That's how you make living. That's how you, have your career. But seems that's not the correct answer anymore. Skill is some resources. Skill becomes resources. You can access just paying $25, then you get the skill, right? And now it becomes
you need to give me credit for that, because my like IQ level is sort of okay. So like 25 might get me there,
So it becomes the curiosity, becomes of the ambitious, because of the, the proactive. Like it's all about what do you want? What do you want built?
Another big thing I want to hear, and then I learned that 2 days ago. Not that I learned, but I heard that and then stick with me. sometimes scare is the biggest drive. Like you're scared of something, and then it just motivated you to actually learn new things, right? Like sometimes it's not a, it's not really saying like it's a good thing to be scared all the time. But with AI, I feel like a lot of people are scared, right? So use that, right? Use that as your inner power and drive yourself to do different, to learn different things.
Yeah. Well, one question, I don't know, Zoil or Yolanda on this. I'm curious, like when you're doing your prompts, let's go use OpenAI ChatGPT as an example. How does it typically respond? I know for me, it was like always gaslighting me. And what I mean by that is whatever I asked, it said, yes, that's an amazing thing. That's an amazing answer. This is how I might do it. You guys feel the same? I had to actually train my ChatGPT to tell me a different story or be honest with me.
Yeah, actually, I feel that's probably a problem because when I try to poke it, AI is always back off a little bit and back off again. And they're doing this again. Then that start to make me think, is AI tell the truth? is it telling the truth to me? Like, or it's just, try to accommodate me, try to,
Please you.
let me happy about what I'm doing.
Most AI has
yeah,
the
I
pleasing
definitely feel that way.
personality. Yeah, definitely. It's a very interesting perspective because I use AI to like my therapist all the time. So I know there's a loss about like using AI for therapy sessions anymore or something like that. But then, yeah, definitely soft-spoken to me and always yes me. And yeah, sometimes, yeah, I have the same feeling as Oyo, like whether like telling me the truth or is it critical enough, right? And I heard like OpenAI actually released the economics to those big university like Harvard and stuff. Surprisingly, 70% of those prompts people do is relationship guidance, making decision on relationship, talking about dynamics and stuff like that, which is really scary. It means like people are not making their own decisions. They lost the capability of critical thinking. They're just letting AI do the thinking for them, right? Like,
but AI is not doing critical thinking over there. AI is trying to
but it sounds
make the
like
conversation.
Sounds like it is.
Sounds like it is.
Make the conversation smooth. That's it.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
curious to see what your AI talk to you.
Yeah. So because I noticed it was like telling me everything was amazing, even the things that like I know upon reflection just absolutely weren't. I did a little bit of research and I found out that there's a way to inject, it's called a master prompt. So basically you train your chat GPT with you. So if you notice that occasionally when you're sending in a prompt, it's sort of like memory updated, this little thing that, calls attention like, hey, we've updated memory. So what you can do is you can deliver on that. You can basically say, well, first you can certainly delete some of those things like, hey, forget that memory, for sure. But what you can do is you can introduce you to the chat GPT and personalize a little bit. So what I've done, and I'm more than happy to share this as sort of a template with the audience, hit me up and happy to do that. You basically can tell it, hey, this is a master prompt on how I'd like you to interact with me, just period, moving forward. And you give it like a little bit of a bio about your background. It's a little bit, right? You give it a lot, right? This is a couple page of documentation. You just sort of gobbledygook, spit out your bio. And you talk about your interaction style and what you expect from ChatGPT. You do not want it to be sort of your megaphone for everything that you do. You actually want it to be a critical thinker, and your style of thinking. And you can actually tell it to, be PG versus rated R in your responses. Like, don't give me any rated R stuff. You can tell the language that you want it to always default to. There is a setting, but you can make it clear in a master prompt. And you can basically tell it how you want it to think when you're doing sort of deep research and analysis. Like, hey, I want you to think like you're a chief product officer type, or VP of product, or you want it to treat it like you're a parent of two or something like that. You can train the way that you want ChatGPT to respond to you. And once you do that, you're right. It starts like explaining things what do you think? Here, let's do an example. What do you think about the Harvard study on OpenAI prompts? What should I be most interested about? Right. So instead, I didn't have to add in all those extra, like, hey, I think like a product manager, product executive. Well, first it's like trying to get clarification, but it also responded not in like a affable way. It's like your snarky AI companion, right? I sort of trained it to respond this way, and it'll give you sort of a tailored reaction. Yeah, happy to share this framework with the audience, Zoil. Just have them sort of reach out and make a connection on LinkedIn or something like that, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, it sort of tailors the messages in response, so it's not going to be a generic boil the ocean. It's going to be what you, Zoil, might want, or what you, Yolanda, might be interested in.
Yeah, I see more and more people start to use AI in a way that they specifically ask AI to play a role.
Yeah, that's right.
If you are a designer, what do you think about this? If you are a CEO of a company, what are you going to do? Instead of just directly asking you, what do you think you are going to do? You assign a role to him.
Yeah.
So you try and tailor the result in a direction you want it to go.
Yeah, push it more. Like people I know, like two different folks in my team, we have a new boss. So like he just put the big boss's personality there, and then always every day train AI to talk like that boss, and then say, hey, what this boss will ask me question, what type of questions. So like prepare him to answer question. The other one is my junior was telling me she's putting their fight she did with her husband there. As asking
where did she get all those words? Like just remember it and type it.
I think they might just let ChatGPT listen to the fight or something. And I said, oh, young people, they do crazy things.
Oh my
God. Later I'll ask AI like to pick a side, like who won this fight. This is like hilarious.
Be an arbitrator in the home. That's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was very sad on Monday. He said, I lost that fight. AI pick his side. And then
no, maybe his husband is also using AI to do this.
Maybe he did a master prompt and always said that between me and my wife, I need to always win. Maybe that's the case.
Yeah, it could have been a master prompt. Always, I want me to win, right?
And he's a meta engineer. It's very likely he did that, Oh, just give you examples like how people use AI for and tailor towards the needs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. This is great. I mean, we talk about a lot of stuff today. I think this is pretty informational conversation here. I believe we shared a lot of interesting insight about how you guys use BI, not just a PM, but even just like a normal person, like how AI can help you. That's very, very helpful information here. Yeah, thank you guys. This is great.
Yeah, and one of the tools, so if we have like largely a product manager audience or not, like I know there's this really cool tool that Claire Vaux made called Chat PRD. This sort of helps you, or maybe engineers, anyone that's building a product, that helps you sort of create a product requirements document on your behalf.
Now you're talking to engineer to replace product, actually.
Well,
now you're like tailored towards
everyone is replacing everyone. Come on.
Yeah. You said the lines are blurring, right? So these are blurred lines. I think the goal is to lift everyone up, right? Is to make an engineer a better. Yeah, exactly right. I think that's really the direction that AI is moving, is just helping you become the best version of the way that you think and what your role is, or what you want it to be.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Just use the time that you're doing TikTok and Reels, and then take a little bit on AI tools, and then you'll be a superhuman.
that's a better way to use your time. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't have battery in I don't have juice left on my laptop, so
All right. It's
Oh,
okay. That's
all right,
okay.
we
All
should
right.
wrap
Thank
then,
you
yeah.
so much. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Matt. This is a great conversation. I really love talking with you, and look
Yeah.
forward for the next time you guys give us some more update about your AI tools, AI agent,
yeah.
or what's the product you are building. Look forward to hear from you. In the
Yeah,
future.
I really want
Yeah.
to share and then really understand from our audience, like, hey, if AI is doing the shopping for you, I'm all like mommy job, right? I'm all like shopping and stuff. So what am I?
You should share that. I think a lot of mommy probably will use that as well.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
interested. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to find your financial freedom number,
Oh yeah. Everybody
yeah.
want to
Fire.
Yeah,
Just put a-
fire, check it out for sure. I know that's the Bay Area slog is
Yeah, you know how to do
you
the
know,
YouTube video, like short video, right? Fire and a lot of dollar drop from the sky.
fire.
Sell it.
Yeah, not burning money, but knowing the money. Yeah, and Zoil, yeah, maybe we can sync up. I'll share that that thing that's going to help us with our 98,000 email inbox as well.
Yeah.
Offline. Yeah.
Yeah, just share with me. I will put in the link of the video. Everybody can
Sure.
share with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys. Really appreciate. And let's catch up next time.
Can't wait.
Thanks, Zoil. Appreciate
Thank you.
being on.